It's that show that Breezy and Nick do. It's What's West with Uncle Breeze.
Another episode. How are you doing, Breezy?
You're alright, mate. Despite that,
Yeah.
don't have COVID.
Hooray!
Yeah, we're all good. Yeah, it's been pretty great. I think I'm getting that routine back a little bit after just having 2 weeks of like, I will only brush my teeth at 7 p.m. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that was a dark couple of weeks, but yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
That's an odd choice. Only at 7 p.m. That feels
It's
like
just-
kind of the worst of both worlds.
It was the worst, mate. Just waking up and just being like, until I went to work, and then finishing work and being like,
That sounds so nasty. You got the whole like evening and then night time and then days worth of bad mouth.
and a stinky boy.
Yeah. Oh no.
Stinky boy.
Cool. Well, I guess we must have not been as close as we usually are, because normally that would be a friendship affecting issue for me. So
Yeah, I mean, like, you know,
lightly there.
well, that's how you know you've got a good mate, innit? If they're willing to go, lad, your breast's not on point.
I think I probably would. Certainly at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I often do it to people just like who I barely know. Because I always carry mints. Because
Yeah.
that's a way of instantly gaining trust. Just
Yeah.
like, look, dude, your breast's not on point. Obviously, I'm not going to lie and say it's not on point if it is. But if it's not on point, just be like, have a mint.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to be able to have a positive follow up as well, isn't it? It's like, you stink, and that's just it. Here is a small temporary solution to your probably much bigger problem. But you can also pretend like, your breath smells right now, not all the time, which it probably does if it smells now.
Well, I sort of look at it this way. If you accept a mint off me 3 times, it's an issue.
Yeah, yeah. Give me a mint once, shame on me.
Yeah.
Give me a mint 2 or more times, I need to sort my life out.
Yeah, big time. I mean, sometimes I'll just offer them as a token of friendship. But it has to be accompanied by...
Like a love heart with no message.
Yeah, just like, yeah, mate, do you want a mint? Because I'm having a mint. Because sometimes when I get anxiety, I just suck a mint. But then you're not thinking about anything, you're just thinking about sucking on a mint.
That's a good shout.
Yeah.
Just put all the attention in your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. That's why I like cooking.
Oh, just like all the focus goes into your mouth zone.
How can I make this taste as boss as possible? It's difficult to think of anything else when you're doing that.
There you get. It's a good one you kind of like focus on, sort of like gardening and bits of DIY. See, it's like you get busy all the parts of your brain that otherwise are going to start making you all anxious about stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So now that we're all relaxed, I thought maybe this week we could touch on your favourite topic, which is obviously shame.
Yeah.
So I thought we'd just take a little dive through, just jump on into the shame well, and try and sort of spelunk some of the depths.
Yeah, I'm up for that.
All right. So why don't we kick off with this one, dear Uncle Breeze? What's the most shameful thing you've ever eaten?
2 Dominoes in one day.
Ooh, what size?
Large.
Wow, that's
Oh.
impressive.
I'm capable of being a big boy, me. Like, you've seen me nail one of them massive Pronto pizzas. Pretty much down to like 3 slices.
Yeah.
18 inches on there. Circumference.
That's a significant disc of food.
Yeah. Because I think food's my comfort thing. You know what I mean? I'm just like, if I'm feeling a bit sad, I'm just like, I'll just get a massive pizza and just eat it. Or like a milkshake.
I can see how it sort of works, because like when you get like a slice of pizza, it feels like a bit of a unit. Like if you're a bit down, it's like, well, I've got this slice of pizza, and you can just you can do that a number of times until you're full enough that you stop kind of thinking and feeling things apart from full of pizza.
Yeah, I suppose. And it's about the pizza. It's just the best, isn't it? It's just the dream killer. Like you're not thinking about anything when you're eating pizza. There's a reason that like when someone says, "What are you gonna do? Hang out and eat pizza?" You're like, "That sounds mint."
That sounds great.
I've never
that
ever
one detail.
Yeah, I've never ever heard of someone go, "Do you want to?" No one has ever said to me, "Oh, do you want to just come and eat some pizza?" And I've gone, "Nah," because it's mint.
That's not an activity. Yes, it is.
Like, yes, it is.
Yeah.
You don't even need to be watching.
No one's like, what are you doing tonight? Oh, I'm going to have some soup. Oh, that is sad.
Yeah.
What are you doing tonight? We're getting pizza. Oh, damn, I'm jealous of your plan.
You know, you think about it, like that birthday I had in lockdown, genuinely probably the best. We made pizza. So we did. We made pizza, watched The Room, and had a great time.
It was great.
It was great. Like, it's got everything you need. It's got carbs. It's got cheese.
Especially making a pizza, like you combine pizza with the act of creation.
Yeah.
That's a pretty powerful.
And watching the dough rise.
Mm.
You know what I mean,
I think making your own pizza from scratch is, I think, basically the opposite of getting a Domino's.
exactly.
If you're going to have pizza.
Seeing it rise like the world's tastiest blister. You know what I mean? It's good stuff. But yeah. That's just fell off.
I'll be honest. I'm slightly sceptical that you've not eaten a more shameful thing than a lot of pizza.
I mean, that was shameful because no one's ordering 2 Domino's in a day. Because I woke up.
I guess maybe was it that? Oh, yeah, there's 2 separate orders.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wow. That's a big move.
I woke up about 3 p.m. after an heavy night, ordered 1, scanned it, waited till about 8, and ordered another. And I remember being sat there after that last slice and just being like, no one can ever know about this. But I was ordering something with my mate Tom, like a few weeks later. They noticed previous orders on my phone. He's like, you had 2 in one day, you big bugger. I was like, yeah. And the shame was real. Because then it was all over around my group of mates then. Because I'll tell you what my most shameful thing were. Eating 2 lamb dinners in one go.
What? Okay, unpack that.
There's a pub in Tilsley called the Union. And we always used to say they have a nuclear reactor for a microwave. Because everything... That menu has got more items on it than most Japanese RPG games. That's how many items are on that menu.
So obviously nothing's fresh because there's
so many.
Yeah.
And like we've seen them nipping Aldi around corner for stuff. You know what I mean? And what's funny is that every time they give you meals, they're carrying them with like cloths, like tea towels. And they always say the same thing. Watch out, them plates are mad hot. And that means someone's in back. You know what I mean? Like, you can see it glowing green from out the kitchen. And they do a Sunday roast on a Sunday that is the tits. And it used to be about £8. And you got a starter and a main. I mean, you could add another £1 on and have an after. So I sat down. Because I've always been known as a big eater. Because it's one of the first things I remember my grandma saying about me. He's a good eater. Anyway, and I sat down with my mate Jake, my best mate. We're both called Jake. We were born at the same hospital, 4 days apart. And he's a good lad. There's pictures of me actually up in his house with him. So it's like being one at family. It says. Anyway, he sat me down. I'm sat eating this lamb dinner. He's watching me. He loves watching people eat, Jake. He's mad. And he loves it. Films people, like, makes weird noises when food comes and he's looking at you like,
you're going to eat that?
Yeah, he loves it. He's a feeder. I think he's a feeder.
That's
he's mental, but like, that's a Tills story for another day, the Chronicles of Jake. Anyway, they come over, they lay a plate down, I've just finished eating them, and he looks at me and I can see that he knows what I'm thinking. And he looks at me and this big grin comes up my face. He gets right in my face and really quietly goes, you could have another one of them, couldn't you? And I was just like, could you? He was like, right, I'll have you a bet. He loves a good wager. I love a good wager. It's why I don't gamble on sports or anything like that. I just gamble on stuff happening. Like if you see a fist fight in the street, I'll give you a £5 on the little one.
Right.
You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
He goes, all right, I'll bet you. If you get another one and you eat it, I'll pay for them both. Challenge accepted, good sir. But the shame was too great, so we had to pretend he were ordering one.
Right.
Because I didn't want the women coming over going, fucking hell, really? Because I live in Tilsley, do you know what I mean? But my home is there.
Right.
I don't want that going round.
2 lambs.
I seen Jake Breeze eating 2 lamb dinners.
Yeah.
That's social suicide.
Yeah.
It's too late now.
So you have to get other Jake to like have a pee and go like, oh, you know what? I am stuffed.
Yeah. Yeah, basically, like, he sat there and be like, cheers. She walked off. And he sort of feigned eating a bit and was like, go on then. And I could see him looking at me, smiling. And I did it. And I struggled on the broccoli, not going to lie. Because you want to do the
best bit.
You want to do the green vegetables last, because they go down the easiest.
Oh yeah, not as chewy.
Yeah.
Right.
They just go straight down.
Right.
Because the amount of mashed potatoes they give you is criminal. Like, there's so much. You know what I mean? It's like the
Minimal
Aswan.
chewing.
Yeah, it's like, imagine like how much water's behind the Aswan Dam in mashed potato. Skinny on the gravy, but we'll leave that. But yeah.
Oh, that's a nightmare if you're doing an eating challenge. You need that.
Need lubrication.
Yeah, absolutely.
And as well, like, come on, don't be skinny hungry. It's just water with some bits in it.
Yeah.
I'm not having that you've been sat there slaving over it. It's just Oxo.
Yeah.
You can't fuck with me. Do you know what I mean? Come on.
Yeah. If it's a granule, I want you to be lavish.
Although, that being said, they do bring it to you in a gravy boat. Never trust a restaurant that brings you the gravy already on. Never trust that. Walk away.
Why would you? Yeah. Why would you do that?
Why would you do that? It's soggy.
Yeah. I want the option, especially most places where I'll end up sitting there for a bit and like, that's not where I put it. Thank you. What? My Yorkshires are now just kind of sad,
floppy,
wet dough.
Yeah.
No, I know where it goes.
Yeah, and as well, like, what if I don't want any on a particular bit? 'Cause you know how it is. Like when it comes to like your mash, you want to make a little dam.
Yeah, or a little divot that you can fill, a little pond.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, I ate them both, and I finished, and I'm sat there, I'm like, like that's the noise I was making. Like, because everyone know when you've ate too much. When you've ate but there's eating too much, and then there's what I did, where it's like you feel like your colon is going to explode. I'm sat there like, oh, yeah, I've done it. And he's there like doing his like he was laughing loud, man.
Oh, this sounds funny.
That you come over, woman, and he grassed on me.
Oh, mate.
When he's just done two of them, and the look the woman gave me, I can't quite describe verbally, but you've got to imagine, you know, the look that people give when. Have you ever had earphones on and farted, and you don't realise it's loud?
Probably.
Yeah, that happened to me in college once. I was sat there doing my work and I farted, and it was quite clearly me. But because I had earphones on, I was like, right, I'm gonna style this out, and I just kept on tapping. Because in my head, I'm like, if I look like I don't know what's going on, then technically Technically, it didn't happen. Technically, it didn't exist. You know what I mean? If I don't acknowledge it's happened, there's no way I could hear it in my earphones.
You've got plausible deniability, not of having dealt it, but
Yeah.
of knowing that there's something to apologise for that you're not doing.
Yeah, basically doing that's like pleading your Fifth Amendment rights. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I don't want to engage with you about what has just happened. It's my right just to tip a tap.
because I may incriminate myself. So that's what I did. She looked at me like that, and I was just kind of looking at her like, I don't know what he's on about. And then she looks at me, and as soon as I said that, I knew I'd fucked up.
Because you were going, and
Yeah.
I think you can generally tell by someone's face when they've had two.
I was pained. I was pained. I was pained. Honestly, mate, fucking hell. The thing is about the union as well, there's only one way out. So I had to walk past a load of people giving me the look.
Yeah.
Shame. Hot shame.
Yeah.
Just cascading down my head like a runny egg. And like, it would just, oh.
See, I thought that basically the bet is kind of the get out there, because just like secretly ordering multiple Dominoes sort of shameful. But I would have thought you were like, look, it was a bet. I'm a man of honour. I couldn't turn it down. But double down with the lie. I mean,
They wouldn't understand.
No,
They don't understand what it's like in these streets. They wouldn't understand. There's nothing I could have done. I just had to take it. He played me.
Yeah.
Played me for a fool.
I mean, was there maybe a manoeuvre there? You could be like, yeah, I'm really hungry today. Can I see the dessert menu, please? Like, just just having one of those days.
Nah, it was too late. Too late. He's done that to me twice.
Yeah.
Like, because he made me do an hot wing challenge. And I couldn't sit down for 2 days. I'm not joking. They went back to this was pre-lockdown. Went back to his flat for a few drinks that turned into a lot of drinks. And I spent most of it genuinely shivering in bathroom. Just stood up shivering because I were in that much pain.
Ooh.
It was horrible, mate. For 2 days I was just like... just like making weird noises and like... Oh my God, mate. Like, I think I did permanent damage that day.
Yeah.
So he does that to me quite... Yeah, most of my shameful stories involve Jake.
Okay.
He brings it out of me.
So, do you think you've learnt anything, or are we going to be having a similar conversation? This
Definitely
time
not.
next year?
As I've said to you many times, it takes me at least 3 attempts
Right.
of doing anything.
So it could be at least one more real doozy.
Yeah.
Before any chance of learning.
Like that's the they say insanity is like doing the same thing and expecting a different result. Like, to me, that's science, not insanity.
Yeah. One result isn't conclusive.
Yeah. Come on, it's a scientific method.
Maybe this time, if I eat so many wings that last time burnt my insides up, maybe this time it'll be different.
Why do you think they call it double checking? Everyone's thinking, you know what I mean? Everyone's like, oh, how can you do the same stupid thing twice? Hold on a minute. Come on.
Have you considered 4 land dinners? Because maybe that's the magic number.
How many times do you have to fall off a bike before you learn how to do it? 4 lamb dinners. I think that might actually kill you.
And I think it would be a problem. I think your body would intervene in some way.
Yeah.
I think it would rebel in a bigger way.
Because I'm pretty robust when it comes to food. I've ate things that have made other people ill and I've been fine. But there's some things that even I cannot conquer. Yeah.
Volume.
Yeah, it's just... So that was shameful.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of like, oh... Because glutton, for me, is the worst sin. Because there's people starving.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also, like, let's be honest. It is impossible to look attractive eating.
It's not the default. It's quite far. I think it's not an easy task. I think you have to start off being quite attractive, and even then, there's a very small niche of making it look good.
I think it's like putting matter and munching it into your face. It's like an American Beauty where she's eating that strawberry. It's supposed to be the essential thing, and she's just eating a strawberry wrong.
Yeah, that's it. I think it needs to be sort of a bit performative most of the time. You need to be a model in an advert for food.
Well, even then though, like, it's like the Magnum adverts. Where they're like eating it really sensual, and it's like, it's a fucking ice cream! Just eat it!
Yeah.
Like, that's what pisses me off. It's like, women as a species of people, or whatever the word is, species, probably the wrong word. Sex of people, there we go. And now you can't eat bananas in public.
That's shameful.
It's shit, that, isn't it? Like, just let them eat a banana. I have never looked at a woman eating a banana and gone, ooh.
Yeah, I think...
It's just a banana.
Yeah, I think they've been in prison for a long time or something, but I mean, come on.
But even then, it's just like someone's just eating a thing. Just leave them alone.
Yeah.
Don't sexualise food.
No. I think that's just the problem that women have, kind of whatever they're doing, really, isn't it? Pretty much.
It's going to be like when people are like, I want to eat something off someone. Get a plate. Get a plate. A body is not for eating off.
Yeah.
What's up with you?
Yeah.
What deranged person is that? Body chocolate. That's a thing. Just...
Well, I can sort of see that a bit more. Like I can see a situation where you are with someone that you're in a sexual relationship with, like, and you want, I don't know, ice cream or something. Goes a bit Top Gun. I can see that, but it's that thing of like the eating sushi off a lady who is sitting there while a bunch of you stand around. Like, that's a thing that seems truly bizarre to me.
That's what I mean. Like, because you'd be there going, all right.
Yeah.
And what if you spill the soy sauce?
Yeah, oh, nightmare.
I bet that's not good in your crevices.
No.
You know what I mean?
No. It's a salty time.
Yeah, it's just use things for what they're for.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, if you listen to this and you've ate something off someone, you should be ashamed.
Yeah.
We'll start there.
All right. There we go. Everyone, get your shame on. Right. Let me ask you this then. What do you think the people listening now, what will they do today or in the near future that's shameful? Because it's going to be something. It's going to be stuff going on out there in the world of people we know. Pretty soon, someone's going to do something that earns them some Jacob Rees shame. What's your guess of what's the first thing that's going to happen from this moment where,
calling lockdown lockers.
No,
just
has
like
it happened?
Just like they call camping campers and Glastonbury glass stores, Glasters.
clusters.
Yeah, I've seen people doing that and like calling
Lockers.
just adding,
Yeah.
just making diminutive, cutesy names for things that don't require one.
Mm.
Just in general, like I don't know. It still freaks me out that there's fully grown women who go like, I won't be treated like a princess. It's like, what, married off at 14?
Yeah, like, you know, and then end up having to sort of like eventually get a divorce when it's no longer too shameful for the family.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Aristocratic baby factory.
yeah. Have you, you know, have a look at the life of princesses in this country.
Shit.
Is that something that you really want?
Can't be asked.
Really? Looks a bit rubbish.
Your vagina's state property.
Mm.
Not good.
Yeah.
No, don't want that.
No, it sounds rubbish.
No, and you want to be treated like it's just a normal human.
Yeah.
You're a human being. Let's start there.
Yeah.
The fact that I'm even saying that's shameful, isn't it?
Mm.
The fact that we can't even start there.
Yeah.
Weird.
And like, if you get treated by a princess by like the palace staff, well, that sounds nice, but that's not love. Like, if you're a princess, are you getting treated like amazingly beautifully by your spouse? Probably not. They're probably out doing the other like affairs of state and or banging the nanny or whatever else they get up to.
Yeah, mistresses.
Yeah.
No. I mean, so that's one.
Yeah.
That's going to be pretty shameful. It's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People come up with nicknames for anything.
Mm.
Just Facey B. People who say that,
Oh.
put them in the pit.
The nicknames that take longer than the actual thing.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mental.
Yeah.
I used to know a guy called Ian who had a nickname that were about 18 syllables long. Why? But so there's that. That'll be the first thing. I guarantee that'll be the first thing.
Mm.
Lucky vibes. Guarantee you. Guarantee you. It's happening. It's probably already happened.
Yeah.
Other things that are shameful. I mean, I've probably talked about selfies on every single episode of this.
Pretty much, yeah.
But I'll allow... You know, if you want to take a selfie, you do you, boo.
Mm.
But if you've got a selfie stick, I might strangle you with it. Like, just... Because they're all going to end up in landfill.
Mm.
Like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Can you imagine, like, a fully grown 40-year-old adult with a 10-year-old child going, way, with a selfie stick?
Yeah.
You know what? If your child gets run over while you're taking the selfie, that's on you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People on their phones when they should be watching the kids, watch the kid. You might have parents actually on parks on the phone. I get it. Kids are boring.
Yeah.
But watch the kid.
Mm.
Come on.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Have you not... You've not been on Netflix. That Maddie McCann documentary's just been on.
Oh yeah.
They were probably taking selfies at that fucking table.
Wasn't it like that was so long ago? Did we even have them then? How long was it?
They're doing something. The equivalent. You know what I mean? I don't know. But anyway, that was it. That were a bit dark. We'll move on. But so yeah, selfies. That'll be another thing. People who keep the festival wristbands on for like, you don't count because it's your festival.
Thank you.
That's different. But like, I know people who've still got the Leeds wristband on from like 2012.
Also, I understand it like when you are, 18 and you've got the festival from that life-changing time you went to, even something whatever bollocks like Leeds. When you're young and it's all new and it's really exciting and you're forming all these bonds and all that stuff, I completely get it. Once you get into like legitimate adult life, it seems less.
Imagine one went up to a job interview. What's that? Oh, it's my Leeds wristband. I once saw a bloke with a tatty old lead wristband from 2010 and he was dipping in his brew and he was drinking it. Think how many lines of cork and puddles of piss and bits of human excrement and just general awfulness that has been dragged through. Because if you've been to one festival, you've been to another. You don't just stop at one, do you?
Maybe that's why you're still wearing the wristband, that one magical time that you went to a festival.
I don't know.
I get it, because it's sort of like it's something of a memento. Like, it's more weird to wear that same Leeds t-shirt every day, but you can kind of like, take it with you.
I don't know. Well, it's just weird. Sorry, shameful, weird. You know what I mean? If you've still got it on in lockdown, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Because all that's doing is making you sad. TikToks, they're another one.
Yeah.
Shameful. What are you doing? Miming a tune that you didn't make.
Yeah.
Miming a well-written piece of comedy from a comedian or from a show.
Who mime comedy?
Yes, they do. Oh, it's bad.
I mean, That's actually seems really emblematic of just where we're at now, because like people, where people used to want to be like a rock star, a musician, an actor, an athlete, people just want to be famous and like aping or miming something that already exists and then getting famous off that, which is now possible.
Yeah.
That's kind of much more, where we're at, isn't it?
Mental behaviour. Like, if you want to be a YouTuber, I actually have a lot of respect for YouTubers. Because I was watching a YouTuber the other day who got a pedo ring shut down.
Wow.
Just through research and through getting onto him, like getting ingratiated him and then just informing the FBI.
Wow.
Led to about 15 arrests. It were amazing.
Wow.
And I just think to myself, yeah, cool. Like, there's been YouTube videos like that Vsauce teaching the world about science stuff and stuff like that. Fair enough, you know what I mean? I'll get loads of history from YouTube, history YouTubers and comedy and all the rest of it. I think it's a fantastic platform. You know what I mean? But TikTok, even the name TikTok, T-I-K, T-O-K, you fucking unoriginal, illiterate, shameful cunts. Do you know what I mean? Like, no. Like, at least Vine were funny. I mean, there's some TikToks that have Vine energy. I'll give it that. But in that case, just keep Vine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What's up with you? Vine, what a wonderful time to be alive.
Oh, remember the days.
What a wonderful time.
We'll not see their like again.
We won't. But I mean, yeah, so that'll be it. I think another thing that'll be shameful is the amount of people that will start live streaming weird stuff. Like, oh, by the way, guys, this week I'm live streaming, I don't know, I'm live streaming my dog. People who live stream their dogs.
I mean, I can kind of see that just because, dogs are awesome.
They are, yeah, but like...
I'd rather see that than you live streaming yourself.
But at the same time, it's just like... I mean, I follow a couple of Basset Hound pages on Instagram because it reminds me of our trigger. But I just think to myself, like, if you love dogs that much, get a dog.
No, not as easily done as said, I don't think, necessarily.
But it's just like, I don't know, the live stream thing. I don't know whether I'm just going to burst the bubble here. It's a bit shit, innit? Let's be honest, it's shit, innit?
Please don't say it. We're building a whole economy on this thing.
But it's shit, though, innit? Like, there's too many people talking at once, and there's too many faces, and it all lags up.
Oh, you mean like Zoom calls? You mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Shit. Because I think there'll be people trying to carry them on after lockdown. Shameful. Just get out in the world.
Well, yeah, but it's access to different people, right? Like you can, it's easier to speak to people that aren't actually there. Like going on a Zoom with your mates rather than going to the pub with your mates does sound a bit ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I just think pubs are a bit shit. I always have done. Not too keen on pubs.
So what should people be doing?
I don't know. I'm not the king. I just look. I don't know I don't have the answers. I don't know what people should be doing. I just know I just know things that piss me off.
Not Zoom, not at the pub.
No, you go to the pub if you want. You just won't see me there.
Yeah.
I've got something else to do.
Yeah.
I'm going. I don't know. Foraging. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Because if we're on about shame, I just think that like whenever I see someone filming themselves in the street. You just want to punch them, don't you? Really hard.
I think there's a bit of an issue caused by the fact that there's no cost to it, right? Like it used to be, you send a text, it's like, well, that's 13p.
Yeah.
And if I don't erase a couple of unnecessary words, it's going to cost me 26p. Whereas now it's like you can live stream yourself and upload photos and video of yourself and your thoughts all day, and it never actually costs anything. Maybe if it cost a little bit to keep putting garbage out into the world with your face in it, maybe that would help.
I don't know. It's more just the fact that it distracts people from the real world. I seen a bloke before lockdown filming himself talking while he was crossing a road. I didn't say it were mental.
That's mental.
You know that crossroads near Samsey, where. What's it called? Is where gay villages, where they've been making them flats for 8 million years. There, that's shameful. We'll add that on.
Yeah.
But that'll never get built. If that doesn't get built after lockdown, that's shameful. But anyway, Or a bloke, Asian fella, as in East Asian, not. Is it Central Asian?
I mean, I don't know.
As in, sort of Laos, Cambodia, China,
Right.
that kind of.
Right.
Not Asian as in India, Pakistan,
Right.
Bangladesh.
Right.
I don't know the exact terms.
Right.
Um,
Is it important to the story?
well, no, but I just don't want people think I'm tiring everyone with same brush.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, because remember, like I had to tell my dad off for saying Oriental.
Yeah.
Just like, Father, it's not 1896.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's all right. He accepted it. We moved on. But anyway, filming himself as you were walking over at road, and there were a buzz coming, and I just thought, right, what's going to happen here now? And then a woman shouted, and I was like, what are you doing? He's made his bed. Let him lie in it.
As in, let him get hit by a bus.
Not let him. Allow him.
Allow him to get hit by a bus.
Very different.
No.
He is hitting the buzz. I'm sorry, mate. Because you were an adult. If you're past the age of 20 and you still don't know the Green Cross code, that's on you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it sounds like it would have been a great loss to the gene pool, or that he wouldn't have been completely asking for it. But I think even a complete moron that is...
Well, deserves to live. But what I'm saying is that he needs to live on his own steam. Now, I look at it this way. I'm not saying I want him to die. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that at the funeral, I want to know what they're going to say.
Well, they might say, well, obviously, it was deeply unfortunate what happened, and obviously we're not, it's only a small comfort we can get from seeing his final moments. But if anyone knows who the man is who clearly saw what was going on and then just watched steely-eyed as our friend got hit by a bus, we'd like to know.
Can you object at funerals?
I don't know if there's like a marriagey thing where you can just be like, no, he was a dick.
Someone good.
Actually, it's got to be a lot of lies told in eulogies. A lot.
I've seen lies told in eulogies. I just wish they had at the end. If anyone wishes to disagree, speak now, forever hold your peace. I object. Get off TikTok on the road. Sit down. Clap, 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 clap.
Maybe clapping. You know what? You're right. But I mean, maybe that would have been an amazing, PSA. Maybe that could have saved some lives down the line. See someone TikToking themselves to death. Maybe the kids will straighten up and fly right.
I don't claim to be a saint. I've been on my phone talking or looking at my map when I'm on my bike on road with no helmet on.
Wear a helmet.
Oh, I do these days. But I don't claim to be a saint. What I'm saying is I'm not dead. And that's not a good example.
That's just luck, isn't it? You stopped doing it pretty much slightly before you got hit by a bus.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that there's a difference between that and walking into the middle of the road while going, hi guys, welcome to my block.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, that was the first thing I'd do. I'll go, shame. Tell me, Mum. Shame. I'll be telling her nothing, sir. Shame. You know what? I'm going to ring the ambulance for you, but I'm going to tell them exactly what you've done.
I'm going to shame you for a few more minutes, and now I'm going to call the ambulance.
Guarantee I'd ring him up. Ambulance man. He go, what's happened? He was walking in road on his phone.
Oh, we're not coming then. That's ridiculous.
It's like, no, you're probably like, what a dickhead. Yeah, I know. Do you hear that? Shame. All right, are you on your way? Yeah. Send your slowest motor. Sorry.
Don't apologise to me, mate. It's not.
I'm sorry, random Asian lad. I'm sure you're a nice lad.
Well, we don't know about that.
But you should be deeply ashamed.
Yeah. That's maybe the one small silver lining in this person not getting hit by a bus is that they've got more shame to feel.
That poor bus driver.
Oh, I know, it's terrible. No, it's terrible. Tube drivers, bus drivers, they get terrible into the stick sometimes.
Awful.
Yeah. Well, no more of that. So, Jakey Breeze, when did you first discover shame?
Oh, Oh, fucking hell. It's a toss-up. Because the one I can remember most clearly is trying to get a word in with a conversation with a load of adults and shouting, "Listen to me!" when I was 5 years old. And then the entire room going silent, my mum being like, "Go on then, Jake. What have you got to say?" Perfect. Utter shame.
Well played.
Yeah, well played, mother.
What did you have to say?
I can't remember. I was too busy being ashamed.
Is it that you said something and now can't remember it, or was it just like, shh, I've just realised I have nothing to contribute?
Yeah. Just like, even in my little 5-year-old mind, I was just like, ooh, I've dropped it here.
I think that's interesting, because obviously it's something of a primal level, right? There's a deep emotional response to this kind of like social response. So like to first come across that when you're a little one.
But I think the shame that changed my life was when I was in school. I think I've already talked about it, but I was in school, and there was a friend of the family who we were just going to call Kay, and he was gay and I didn't know. And he was like one of my dad's best mates. And lovely to me. We used to chat for hours. Sometimes he'd just come round. You know, my mum and dad were in, we'd just have a chat. You know what I mean? And then when I'd come home, and he'd be like, "Oh, you're right, Kay, how you going?" You know, and we'd chill out, have a brew, have a chat. And he does like massage and sort of crystal healing and like all that mad stuff. And been to India and talked to gurus and all and what have you. He used to be mad. I think he were worked out mines at one point.
Wow.
Yeah, and
going for more crystals.
but yeah, and anyway, and at the time it was just it was the dumb thing to say homophobic stuff in Tyldesley, because you didn't even know what it meant half the time. You know, because unless you know like the proper context behind how horrific some of the stuff you're saying is.
If it's just what everyone says in the playground and all that,
yeah,
you don't know what it.
And that must have been about 12, 13. Which in fairness is still too old to be homophobic. Oh yeah. You know what I mean? And not understand the context of it. It's something that I'm still ashamed of to this day. And I remember coming home, I've got a freckle on my left ear. So people always ask me if I have my ear pierced. And I always look at it as if I ever do get it pierced, they've got a nice little target. But anyway, come on, Keith noticed it. We sat down having a brew. He was like, "Oh, you had your ear pierced?" I was like, "No. Not my left ear. That's the queer ear. I'm not queer. I'm not fucking gay. That's what you get. That's what you get pierced if you're a queer." He didn't say out. He was like, "All right," laughing, and my dad was like, "He's mad, isn't he?" And Keith left, and then my dad just started reading paper, deathly silent. I'm just doing about my thing, and then he just put his newspaper down, looked at me, and just went very casually, "You know Keith's scared, don't you?" And just carried on reading his newspaper. And oh my sweet lord. You know, your heart just falls out your ass. Like I was just like, oh, like, and instantly everything that I'd said was just punching me in the face, and I realised, like, I was like, oh my god, that was awful. Because what hurt me was that Keith didn't even react, and in that moment,
so probably used to it.
Yeah,
and he cares about you.
Yeah, and in that moment, I thought my dad must have been so ashamed at that second, But at the same time, he must have known that my dad didn't raise me like that. You know what I mean? And I thought, oh my god, he was gay in like the 80s. The stuff he must have gone through. And the people he must have known and lost and all the rest of it. Back when beating gay folk up in the street were just a thing. You know what I mean? And like, especially Tyldesley, it's not the most progressive nation on earth. Place on earth. I mean, it is like a country in its own. But anyway... And I just thought, oh my god, and it ate me for years. And then I seen him when I were 20, I think, or I might have been 21. Had I left uni at that point? No, I was about 21. And he does the doors on Gay Village sometimes. He does security. And I walking past and I clocked him. And in fact, what was mad is that he continued coming round the house every now and then as though nothing had happened. You know, we got chatting and that. And I seen him, and it had been eating me up for years. I used to think about it all the time. Like, that well and truly whipped all the intolerance out of me. And I was like, Keith, I'm said his name, Kay. And I talked to you. He was like, yeah, I don't think you'll mind. But I says, look, mate, when I was about 13 and told him the tale, and he was stood there and he started smiling. And he said, Luke, Jake, I know that you've said that for you, not for me. Which is one of the wisest things I've ever heard a human say. He was like, I know. He was like, I don't even remember, mate. He was like, you're always just a good guy to me. He went, but if you need to get that off your chest, then thanks. You know what I mean? He went, but you need to square that with yourself, not me. And that, I mean, the shame didn't vanish, but the weight of the guilt did. But that's why I'm so obsessed with shame, is because it'll change your life forever.
Yeah.
I'm not talking like having a go at women for wearing short skirts or having a go at folk for this and that. Proper shame, if it's directed, it's like an intolerance-seeking missile. All you need to do is just grab it and just it's kind of like shame will latch on to intolerance like a leech, and then you've just got to squeeze it to suck it out of someone. Like that bloke, that amazing bloke, black fella who made friends with all them KKK fellas.
Yeah.
And then they renounced their views. That's what it's about. Is it giving someone that eureka moment? And that's why I find it so important. I know we have a laugh in that, but yeah, that was probably the most important bit of shame I can remember. Because I think the shame when I was a kid were different.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just being a dick. But
Yeah.
like that kind of shame were like, ooh.
It's shame about a part of yourself and a way that you have been, and then I guess integrating that shame is how you push yourself in a different direction.
Yeah, I felt it in my bones. Felt it in my bones, man. Because then, I got thinking about other bits in my life. I mean, like,
Yeah, if I've done that here, where else am I doing that?
yeah, and I've had family members, not immediate, but family members being racist to me when I was a kid, like around me, when I didn't even know what it were. And I look back now and I'm like, oh my god, I definitely internalised some of that. You know what I mean? And I'll give it though, in fairness, if there's one thing I've never been, it's a racist. You know what I mean? I've never been a racist. It's not, I've not got it in me. It just, even when I was a kid, it didn't make sense. I mean, people were saying stuff, but I didn't challenge it because it would just, you become a pariah. You know what I mean? And as well, it were adults. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then at school, they were talking about it, but you just let it lie. You know what I mean? Because what were the point? Looking back now, yeah, I'm ashamed of that. So I wish I'd have done something. Because there were one black lad in my entire year, and in fairness, he never got a hard time ever. Everyone were always really nice to him. He was sound. Never had any racial bother. As it was more directed towards the Asian community. I'm talking sort of Indian, Bangladeshi, Pakistani, what have you. I never thought about it. You know what I mean? Because it were like us and them. You know what I mean? And that's shameful. I'm very ashamed about that. I didn't really engage in it, but not calling it out is as bad as doing it.
Yeah, and I've had that. I remember. I've later remembered, something that's happened when I was a kid, and been like, "Oh my god, that thing that person was really racist." And at the time, you just have this thing of like, "Oh," and it just kind of this little like, "Oh, that's odd." And until you've learnt more, you don't when you're a little kid, you don't have all the conceptual apparatus to know what that means.
And as well, you've met me. My tongue is basically always on a banana skin, ready to trip itself up. Like I was talking to a girl called Melissa, Thai girl, by sort of lineage, but she's from Manchester born and bred, and she what's it called? She was at my house in uni when we were like 18, just having a drink and a chat with a few other people. I says, "Oh, where are you from?" She's like, "Oh, Manchester." I was like, "No, like, where are you really from?" What I meant was Manchester's a big place.
Right.
What bit of Manchester? That's genuinely what I meant.
Right.
But obviously, not thinking.
Yeah.
And then the room went fucking dead silent.
Yeah.
She was like, well, my lineage was like, no. But it was too late. You know what I mean? I've had that happen to me loads, man.
Yeah.
Loads where, like, I've just not thought about it because I'm just saying it innocently.
I think that's a moment that a lot of us are grappling with now more than ever, where it's not just about not having a bad attitude, it's about learning all the, things and phrases and actions which have meaning for people in a certain group because of their experience.
Exactly.
Even if you're not, you don't know about it, you don't think about it, but we're kind of having to more like try and actively keep keep lists and awareness to try and make sure that you're...
But that's what makes me angry, though, is the fact that has to happen because of shameful behaviour. Because really, all that question should mean is, what bit?
Yeah.
Really? But the fact that there's that many people who must have said it to her.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And be innocently not thinking. Because, like, you know what I mean? I don't care what melanin you have in your skin. That's a mental thing for care about. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, it's mad. It's just mad, isn't it? Like, yeah, so I say that's been a large shame in my life that I've been trying to work on. You know what I mean? It's just calling stuff out when I see it. It's like, come on, mate, that's not okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's scary. But I look at it this way, I'd rather someone kick me head in than say nothing. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, if you've done something.
No, as in, like, on the street. There's been loads of times where I've been walking home from nights out or whatever, and I've seen a bloke mithering a girl on the street. It's like, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Leave her alone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or do that thing where when you see a bloke walking towards a girl on the street, you just keep an eye on him. Just make sure they know each other. Just little things like that.
Yeah.
When you see a bloke getting too touchy with a girl in a nightclub and then he goes hug her, and then she looks at you over her shoulder and gives you that look. And then usually here's a tip for you blokes. Just pretend to be a mate. Just be like, oh, there you are.
Yeah.
And they'll know what you mean. They'll know what you're doing because, like, it's girl code.
Yeah.
And now that the internet's here and Reddit's a thing, you can learn girl code.
Yeah.
Check 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Be sort of an honorary sort of like girl when it's needed.
Yeah.
Jump in on the code.
Yeah.
Try and...
It's not enough not be a creep. You've got to actively...
Got to be an anti-creep.
Resist. Resist them.
Human shield.
Yeah. And, like, not saying that women can't look after themselves. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that I'd want someone to do the same for me.
It's been an ally.
Yeah. I'd want someone to do the same for me. There's been loads of people who, when I've been in a bind, have helped me out.
Yeah. And that might just be someone who's, talking to you a lot more than you want or the way that you don't want. Just an out. And that's just a lot easier for blokes most of the time.
Yeah, and it's happened to me loads of times where, like, me and my mate Sam at an house party, some bloke off his head kept talking to me about music and he would do me head in. I'm just like, lad, I'm not arsed. I'm just trying to hang out. Stop talking to me about Rush.
I'm not only with you.
Yeah, stop talking to me about Rush.
Oh, God.
But centimetres from my face.
Yeah.
Sweating.
Yeah.
Eyes like UFOs.
Yeah.
And I was like, Sam, when he comes back in, because he went for a piss, I was like, alright, Sam, do me a favour here. And he was like, yeah, no worries. So when he come back in, Sam was just like, Breezy, someone's outside for you. And we just went into the basement, never seen him again. Boom. Sorted.
There you go.
You know what I mean? That's all you need, someone for just give you a leg up. Yeah.
That's perfect. All right, well, I think from there, let's talk about some solutions. So, one question I've got, looking at our political system, looking at the people who exemplify our politics today, at least the successful people in our politics, seems like there is a radical lack of the appropriate shame. Now, how do we fix that? How do we inject the shame that should be there back into politics and leadership?
We've got to be careful because shameless people are shameless people. Like, George Osborne is one of the most shameless human beings I've ever clapped eyes on. He is.
Yeah.
Look at him. He's that lad who... He's that lad in school who sort of dobs people in for smoking outside at bike sheds. Leave them be. They're not hurting anyone.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, they're smoking and that at like 12, and that maybe suggests some problems at home, but that's not for you to deal with. Just leave them be. Same guy, he's that lad at the end of the class. Miss, you forgot to collect the homework. Shut up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You prick.
Yeah.
He's that guy. And Boris Johnson, same thing, just lying outwardly. So I think the way that you'd fix it, how does one shame that which cannot be shamed?
We need to find a way to shame these smug, shameless people, because it's bringing them success. But Bojo is in the position he is because he is so shameless. How do you get them shamed of something?
I think one thing would be we set up an independent agency. It's like the lottery. You know, like jury service. Names get pulled out of a hat. Everyone gets a politician each.
Yeah.
For a day, all you do, you get paid for it. You get paid leave for it. You just watch their bank account. You sit there. Oh, that's a Boots meal deal. That's weird. £8,000 to Shell Corporation Corp. What's this about, Boris? You know what I mean? Because that's what journalism. That's what journalists should be doing.
Yeah.
But obviously, they have to keep in favours with politicians so that they can get the inside scoop when they leak.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way we know about anything, when someone leaks it. Yeah. Whoever them hero leakers are.
Well, that's it. All the journalists have been thrown under the BuzzFeed bus. We basically seem to, as a society, have said we don't really want journalism anymore. Thanks.
Well, it's more that we don't want to pay for it.
Well, same thing. Yes, precisely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think
we'll take it if it's free and comes along with whatever other clickbait garbage we're interested in.
Well, I think that's where it comes in for it for me. Is that it's why I try and pay for stuff when I can. It's like, you know, music software. I get it's expensive. I get it. But you still have some gratification, man. Someone works really hard on Logic. Someone works really hard on Ableton. Yeah. Someone works really hard on that song that you're listening to on YouTube rather than on Spotify, so they get a bit more money. Yeah. It's not fucking loads, but like, buy a t-shirt. Just buy a t-shirt. Someone worked really hard on that. And I think that's what it boils down to, is you've got to vote with your wallet in a capitalistic society, which is a damn shame, but that's just the way it is. And I think that's the only way we're going to do it, is that the only way if it's shifted is just by mercilessly watching them. And I think that's what needs to happen, because I'm sick of seeing Tony Blair winning a Nobel Peace Prize. Ugh. You know what I mean? While sitting on the board of weapons manufacturing companies.
And being responsible for the Iraq War and probably ISIS. Awful. And everything else that came,
This is what I mean. Yeah. Like, how can it be that the largest demonstration in British history did nothing? Mental.
And the fact that there's no shame that attaches to that afterwards, ignoring the people going for an illegal war, being the cause of so much suffering, and we still get to Tony Blair thinks this about Jeremy Corbyn or Europe. Well, things we should do. Why are we listening to this man now? How should still be in the stocks.
I think that's what you should do. When you sign on to Parliament, they go, right, what are your ball measurements? Why do you need that? Give them to us. And what you have is some crude electrical wires. Just fit round the balls or whatever genitalia you want. At the end of every day, we go, right, people, we're having a vote. And it's not by constituency, it's just by mass. Like, one vote equals one vote, not your constituency. Yeah. Do we shock the Prime Minister's balls today? Here's what's happened. 58% vote yes. Right, Tony, tomorrow you're sorting it out. You're getting shocked again.
It's
real world consequences.
Very, very, very real world. I do have some concerns about the system.
Well, I mean, it's just like anything. I've always said corporate tax evasion should be punishable by death. But you know what? Who'd miss them?
This is the argument that you get a lot about other kinds of crime. You know, from a lot of people, where basically, you need to have the pointless punishment because that's the deterrent to people. It's like, well, I don't think when people are like, breaking into houses for smack money, I don't actually think the deterrent is a big deal. But if you're committing big, financial crimes and hiding your taxes that you should be paying, I actually think they might take those things a bit more seriously.
Which is what I mean. I don't think anybody commits financial crime on that scale by accident. You can make a valid case of plausible deniability for most prison offences. Murder, theft, whatever you want. We're not going to go into others because I don't want this to turn into an incident.
Yeah.
But corporate tax evasion, offshore accounts, all that shite. String them up, hang them, while shouting shame. You know what I mean?
That might make a difference.
Because I just think, like, do we need more corporate accountants?
It's a good point. We do have a glut of people who just move money around and don't ever benefit society at all.
Hedge fund manager. What have you been doing? Well, I moved. Next. That's all it'd be. Next. Like, George Osborne. All right, mate. You were the editor at whatever newspaper it were. Massive scandal. Your family's been avoiding tax for now 3 generations. You've got more wealth than you know what to do with. What have you got to say for yourself? Well, I'm working within the remits of the law. That's how easy it needs to be.
I mean, maybe I'm a bleeding heart, but I think that's a bit too easy.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like we put them on. We put them on trial.
Was that the trial we just heard?
Well, no, that'd be the end of the trial.
Right.
You'd have one last chance.
Yeah.
One last chance, nationally televised, pay-per-view, revenue.
And this is another referendum situation. Everyone's got the red button at home.
Yeah. Revenue raiser. Let's get on tonight. What? Pay £4 now and decide Osborne's fate. Come on! I'm going to be right on there. You know what I mean? All right, £4 times how many people want to see George Osborne live versus how many people want to see George Osborne die.
Yeah, I think the issue we quickly get run into there are a lot of people who would just love to shock people's balls and kill them more than there are people who would give up their evening and £4 to tip the scales the other way.
Let the people speak.
Slash electrocute.
Now, I mean, obviously I jest, but I genuinely think there needs to be some kind of... We just need to just pull our fingers out in terms of lock them up.
Consequences, financial crimes. It's, the scale of crime, like, you can go to jail for years for stealing £500.
Yeah.
But you can steal millions of pounds and get a not much of a more severe sentence or less severe.
I'm just going to use one very easy example. When was the last time you saw one of these arse wipes, like the Wolf of Wall Street or whatever, be dragged to jail? Doesn't happen.
Should have the proper perp walk. Should be shamed like real,
Well, they're not dragged to jail, are they? They walk into their office and go, "You're going to have to come with us." They let them know when it's coming. They walk out.
By arrangement.
Yeah. Whereas Martha down the street, who's been fiddling with the benefits, drag them out. I've seen people being deported in this country. I've seen what happens. I've seen it when I were a postman. I've seen families being deported. It's horrific. It's horrific. Honestly, it'll change you. If you see it, it'll change you for the rest of your life. But yet, like, people who are avoiding this level of corporate tax and doing all these mad financial schemes, just traipsing into the waiting police car.
That seems like a great candidate for someone to deport. Yeah. Like, where you've demonstrably got more than enough money already. You don't need to do this, but you want to try and swindle everybody else who is poor and who does need the NHS.
Well, I think...
Yeah, we don't need you in our country, thanks. Why don't you go somewhere
That's the thing,
else?
I think I've cracked it. All right, if you want to have all these offshore accounts in the Cayman Islands, fine.
Go live there.
We're going to deport you there and wait for climate change to do the rest. Awesome, big wall. Build that wall. Trump can have his wall, but just over there.
Yeah.
And you can live behind your big wall.
Yeah.
And then we'll just wait for sea level rise to do the rest. And every now and then, we'll just fly past, one of them helicopters with buckets. Just speed it up a bit. Get that seal.
Sploosh.
So yeah, I think that's probably the answer. Shame. And all the while, when they're being transported there, there's just a big speaker. Shame. Shame. As they're going. Yeah, that'd be that. I'm glad that we've come to that ending, because I don't want to think that I'm endorsing shooting politicians we don't like, because I'm not about that.
We're going to put them on an island and wait for them to drown.
Yeah.
All right.
Much nicer.
Perfect. All right. Another set of societal issues wrapped up definitively.
Yeah, sure thing.
All right. Much obliged, Breezy.
Thank you very much.
In a bit. Shame. Shame.
The greatest of all emotions.
Doesn't have to feel good to be good. Is that I think that's the message today?
Yeah, pretty much, man. Like,
Yeah.
Come on. If you're feeling shame in your life, probably means something needs to change.
What is it? Sort it out. What's that thing?
What's that thing?
Why are you so ashamed?
Get up.
Fix it.
Go for that run.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Tell your mum you love her. Ring her.
Call your mum.
Call your mum. You know what I mean? If you're feeling ashamed about something, I guarantee fixing it will solve the shame.
Do something.
And then you'll be ashamed about something else.
Yeah.
Constant self-improvement. That's what we're about on this show.
Constant shame. And maybe some improvement along the way.
Damn right.
Yeah.
I think we've solved that.
Fixed. All right, well, we best get out of here then.
Yeah, once again, thank you very much to the Old Abbey Tap House.
Love you, Tote.
Thank you to the NHS.
Big up.
Despite government advice, please stay at home as much as possible. Wear
Yeah,
a
please
mask
stay
out and
safe,
about.
guys. Yeah.
And support your friends' businesses. And we'll see you soon.
We'll see you soon. Lots of love, guys.
Laters.
Bye.